Hi, Virgo. I wish you could see the big old smile on my face. How am I going to say this? This is a past life reading for Virgo. And I don't know, this is a very sexy reading, okay? So whoever you are, if you want to know whether to keep watching, are you very sexy? Are you very flashy? Are you very sought after? Are you that bitch when you walk in the room? Can you not take yourself nowhere without being adored, admired, chased? Like little Pepe Le Pews all around, just trying to sniff you out. You're just a gorgeous, refined sense of style, taste. I don't want to say, actually, flashy's not right. Maybe back then you were flashy. But I think at this point, it's a more evolved. Not bougie. Okay, yeah, bougie. Yeah, let me just say it. Okay, you might be bougie. You might be extra. You might be extravagant. It's all for good reason. It's because of where you came from. By the way, I have only one note here for this whole thing, outside of the past life thing. If you get injured or you have an injury, really, really rest. Like, I'm serious, for real, rest. Don't still do the Virgo thing where you're like, okay, well, instead of doing 20 things today, I'll do 10. No, you're going to do none of those things. None. If you have an injury, you need to really be disciplined about resting. And so, hopefully this helps with giving you something to do, some research that just reminds you to love yourself and reminds you how far you've come. But, I don't know why I got that. Yeah. Like, you can't do anything but really sleep it off. So take this time to let your mind rest, your body rest, and make the most of it. With, if, doing some research here, if you want to get kind of back in touch with roots, maybe you have. I don't know if you have Mexican heritage or if you're Hispanic or Latino, Latina, but you have ancient Mexican roots. Veracruz. Hold on, let me show you this. And we're going to talk about this. It seems like there was 2 lives there, okay, in that native tribe. And we're talking about, please forgive me if I don't say this right, my little whiteness. Xalapa, Enrique, Veracruz, Mexico. It was known as the Flower Garden of Mexico. There's a little museum called the Cana Museum with boats and ships that wanted to really stick out. So it could be that you weren't just a farmer, but a predecessor to some sort of a naval office, something like that. But I got the Totonac people. Okay, so this is an indigenous tribe to Veracruz, Mexico, going all the way back. Pre-Columbian invasion, all of that. They produced delicious coffee, vanilla, and a lot of the food that we know today as being from Veracruz. So it was sort of formed from 3 cultures that came together and Totonaku. So it was kind of called Totonaku, the home of the Totonac people, who was like a big blended extended family of 3 different indigenous Mexican people. Okay, they ate mostly fruit. So if you're someone who's not big on meat, that's probably why it goes all the way back. They ate mostly fruit. And if you do eat a lot of meat and you're thinking about making some health changes, look into vegetarianism, if not veganism. Yeah, women were very, very beautiful. These are very, very beautiful people. They were very noble, bougie, decorated people. So I'm getting that you braided feathers into your hair. You were very elegant. It's like people parted when you walked in. You know, you were just very kind of visually stunning. And it was very hot. It was very humid. And these people were very fierce, okay? They actually had slaves, these people. They ended up starting to enslave the Aztec people. So if there is a part of you that is in your soul, feels very strongly about enslaving others, it could go back to witnessing that yourself as being part of the tribe that enslaved the Aztec people to do their farming when they got a little too big for their own britches, you know, which society does. You lose sight of everything, you lose God, and I'm kind of getting that. And so I feel like you were a very young soul, and you were naive, maybe. But there's something that has affected you to this day, and it has something, I'm getting fight or flight. Okay, so if you're someone who you fight immediately, or no, it's you flight immediately, like you avoid confrontation totally, it goes back all the way to something that happened that ended up with you dead. And it started with an affair that you took part in, it looks like, that you were killed for. So you came from a noble bloodline anyway, but I'm getting that, I'm just going to say this, okay? King. Oh, okay. So a king who was married, oh boy. Right, okay. So there was a king and his son, and they were very kinky. And I'm just going to say this. You might be very sexually free and open and kinky to this day. Like I'm getting you like threesomes. You like orgies. You don't hold back. You've sown your wild oats. Or maybe you did in the past. And that goes all the way back to this. Okay, so with no guilt and no shame, because we are who we are, you know. It's that you would... Okay. Am I getting that right? Hold on, let me pull on that. That doesn't seem right. I mean, did you go along with that purposefully? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you were fully self-aware of what you were doing here. You had an affair with a married king and his son while his wife was pregnant. Okay, he was supposed to be monogamous. And there was an embryo there on the other side of that. So it's not like it was an open sexually tribe or community. I mean, that wasn't, at least. If the community was, their marriage was supposed to be monogamous. But it wasn't. So there was an abnormal sex in the marriage where... Oh, boy. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the Devil, and I pulled the Three of Cups for what you were in for. And you were in for a threesome with the king and his son. Ooh. I'm getting that you would do things that the wife wouldn't do. Okay, no guilt, no shame. And if you're like to this day, yeah, yeah, it goes all the way back, okay? Oh my God. Notice that. 3 of Cups, the Chariot. So you would accompany them out of town or something. Maybe you were like a dancer or a singer, and after the show, y'all would go back to the Chariot and have a good time together. Okay, that's kinky. Okay, well, the king, it wasn't like you initiated it, the king initiated it, and his son was like, okay. Like dirtbag broskies. Were you in love? Were you in love, or was that? No. Okay. You saw it as a way to get away from what you saw as not the lifestyle that you wanted. You saw that as a ticket out of being in a lesser home when you could be in the palace. So your goal was to what? Replace the queen? Is that? Ooh. Hold on here. Okay. So you got let's say you got a little ambitious with that kinky affair there, I guess. And we all do at times, but yeah, you wanted to sit in that seat. And what ended up happening was, instead, you got pregnant. You ended up getting pregnant. You weren't sure if it was the father or the son. And so you went to him and you said, make a decision. You assumed that it was... Wait, did you think it was the son or the father? Does it matter? The father. Okay, so you're like, all right, well, I'm pregnant with your child, so now you need to marry me and I need to be the queen. Okay. I think you were very young. I'm getting that you were probably very young, right? Yeah. 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 And I've had experience with that too in a past life. You think you're stronger than you are, or you think you're older and wiser and that you've got more influence than you do. And I think that was the case, which is why your fight or flight response is so strong. Because when you went to this dirtbag to say, hello, I'm pregnant, what he did instead, he still didn't tell the wife. But she found out anyway, and it caused an entire war. And, ooh, no way. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Is that what this was? Ooh. Okay. This is not good. When did it, what happened was... What happened was he ended up killing you before word could get out that you were pregnant. And he killed the wife before she could find out that he did it. Or what was going on. And her kids too? And her kids too. And the dog. He killed the mistress and the growing baby in there, right? If she was intending on having that child, then that would be considered ethically murder, yeah? Because I think that she was far enough along that he couldn't hide it anymore. That, oh, that's the way the wife saw it. It was too, oh. Ooh. There were 8 deaths total behind this affair, including you, your unborn child, the queen, her children. And this dirtbag left with everything. He didn't understand karma, though. Whoever this is, he's been getting karma this entire time for what he did to you. He'll never know peace. He'll never have abundance. So if you're coming into a place where you're feeling fight or flight. It's not one or the other. It's a scale, right? It's a gray area sometimes. But you're not going to be naive and young. You're a wise soul now. Even if you're still bougie and flashy and you like to have a lot of fun. And you're still that bitch or that guy. You are a wise soul. There's a fire in you that can't be put out. You know what I forgot to say about this? Hold on. Where's my notes? I was laughing so hard when I wrote this because Veracruz, Mexico, even in ancient times was known as plus ultra. Like those people were extra always, were plus. Like they turn it up to 11. Like there ain't no 10. Okay? But there is still a wise soul in you that won't put yourself in the line of fire because you understand the connection between your intuition and your ambition. It's like you don't let your ambition get in the way, but you also don't let any dirtbags get in the way of your ambition just because you're sexy, just because they want you and feel some kind of way about you. So if you're extra, if you're super plus and everyone's like, oh my God, could you stop? No, you can't. You can't. It's all right. If you've got big plugs in your ears, you know the women, they used to wear the plugs and the men too in the ears like you see. It could be why. If you're tattooed, it could be why. They tattooed their face with red ink. So you could have had plugs, the feathers in your hair. You could love fashion. You know, if you're a guy, you could be drag. Or if you're a girl, you could be drag. Like Lady Gaga. It's why would you go out if you can't be stunning? It goes all the way back to the Totonac people. You could love coffee. You could feel a spiritual connection to fruit trees, mangoes, papayas. You could love to grow your own food, or if this is a crossroad where you're realizing that it's better to flight than fight this particular dirtbag, because you won't repeat the same cycle. You won't let what you've worked for get taken from you, and you also won't walk into a lion's den if someone's trying to hand you a rope to hang yourself with. Okay, you have those strong survival instincts. What I'm getting is even if you're city and you're bougie, you know, like if you're from modern Mexico, there's strong survival instincts in you. There could be some peace in channels like primitive technology, where it's just the guy out in the forest and he builds stuff with everything from Stone Age sort of thing. There's a peace there. There's a simplicity there. You're not simple-minded. You're very complex. But there's a simplicity to the peace that you've earned. All these years, all these lives. There could be a fear of natural catastrophe because I'm getting you did lose your life. After that, where you did find peace in a different part of a more modern Mexico. Okay? Xalapa, Enrique, maybe, the flower garden of Mexico. You grew your own flower garden. You found your own peace. But I think you were always wild, and I think you've always been a little kinky and willing to go a little bit further sexually than other people do. But you've learned to honor that and protect it, you know, and keep it from those that don't see it as special or holy, you know? It's like you see him coming from a mile away now, and you maybe to this day refuse to get involved with married men or women. You won't do it. You won't. And it's because you kind of caused a war and lost your life and your unborn child over it. And so it's like everything you have, you've worked for yourself. I don't have a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted to go out and get a sugar daddy, I could, it's like the Shangela thing. You could never have a sugar daddy because you ain't that kind of girl. So you have a lot of people who are, even if you're a guy, jealous of you. You're still stunning. You're still stylish. But you're ancient. You might have lost your life in a fire. But know that that's not coming for you this time. That was a fear that you've been working on little by little all this time. Be proud of yourself. But you also have that flight response. If you feel you need to run, you run. If you feel you need to change direction, you change direction. Let me pull on that. Okay. I think that there's still part of you that's always going to be a child. You just, you could have Gemini in your chart, or you just love to have fun. Don't involve yourself sexually at all with anyone who watches a lot of porn, or who wants to videotape you, or who wants to introduce you into that world. Even if it's a friend, stay away from porn people, okay? Much love to sex workers and anyone that does that. It's not disrespectful to them. This is about your journey. That could be someone else's journey to deal with that. Or, it's like there's a light side of your kinkiness and a dark side, and you're avoiding the dark side because you already know. So you see them coming from a mile away, and there's a sixth sense that you have going all the way back, okay? So keep that childlike innocence even if you're kinky. There is a light side there. You will feel it. It won't feel scary, cold, or overwhelming. So be 100% sure, so that you never have to worry about dealing with what you never asked for in the first place. I mean, you kind of asked for it, but you kind of didn't ask for it. I mean, nobody asks to be murdered by their secret lover. Nobody. Nobody thinks that's going to happen. And you sure as hell ain't going to let that happen again, okay? So if this is just a why am I the way I am, it's that reason. You're exactly who you need to be. You're exactly who you are. For very good reason. You are childlike, but you're not naive. Because you learned the hard way all that time ago, okay? And if you don't have Hispanic roots as far as you know, guess what? Guess what? You do. There might be a lot of solace in re-examining the way that they lived, the way they dressed, go back to eating more fruits of vegetarianism, be more elegant with your hair, put some feathers in there, some braids, Maybe get some tattoos. I don't know if you I don't know if face tattoos is the way to be, but if you are an independent artist, like I think you might be, you can do whatever the hell you want. That could be a way to honor yourself. It's not even honoring your culture, it's honoring yourself. So Totonacu, people of the three hearts, the flower garden of Mexico. There could be some healing there for you, plus ultra. Turn it up to 11. But wise, choosing peace by choosing self-care. With no regrets, no shame. All right? All right. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to leave it there, Virgo, and I will see you for the next one, okay? Bye-bye.